Hello, you all. We're just doing a little sit-in here, little conversation with Lee and John, the two brothers, and we're at Lee's place, and again, just offering so much gratitude for him sharing with us his place here and allowing us to share the love and share their good times and everything here as well. But we just wanted to talk a little bit about just kind of the real life stuff, and what we deal with. And I know Lee has actually just recently he's had some things come up with a job and things, so new things kind of unfolding, and just kind of talking a little bit about how it really is that that element of allowing change sometimes, when often that's the worst thing. I mean, almost the thing that we don't want to have happen, right, is that element of change, but yet how it really can come with peace if we just kind of tune into this spirit and allow the element of something greater than ourselves being in control. And we kind of release a little bit. So you guys want to share a little of that? Yeah, awesome.
I can just talk a little about what JP was talking about of like career. So like just sharing my personal story a bit. It's like, because I definitely know what it's like to hang on to a job too long, and to ignore the feelings in your gut of like change, a call for change. My first company I worked for was like for 8 years. And I don't think it was bad for me, but I definitely had the sense I stayed too long because it was getting kind of, stale at the end. And then this job that I am going to leave in I got like 7 more working days, end of the month. Been with them for 6 years. And I know it's kind of not right in my heart either for that, in the healthcare industry. And even so much to the point where I had 2 jobs at once for a while. When we first moved here, I had 2 jobs at once. So I was on my freaking little keyboard banging away 12, 13 hours a day. And that kind of gave me that sciatica injury that put me down for a while. And so I guess I'm just saying, I've had a lot of stress about work and money and surviving. And this time around it's been a lot. Can't say it's been stress-free completely, but it's been a lot smoother. It's been much easier than the last couple transitions in my life. And if I didn't have a view of God in my life, I don't think that would have been possible or would have happened. Yeah.
That's so cool, because I know, we've just talked a little bit about the idea of doing kind of more similarly what I've allowed in my life, which I was fortunate to have grown up in family business and all that, and being more on the self-employed side, but still kind of working as an independent contractor and doing consulting, things like that. But it has been so incredible how God has just opened those doors every time something was kind of closing and, looking like the end. I always kind of just opened my heart entirely to that spirit. Said, right. Father, you show me, and it has never failed me. I certainly could write plenty about it, but the element of just the next thing coming along just when I need. I mean, I have walked right out of situations of a job and almost the next day. Been something else opened up prior to me leaving entirely, the other one, and then walking right into a new position that was made for me. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, Father, thank you. It was so, and some of them just so have been, really beautiful. But again, knowing that this is not about the picture, it's not about the form, it's really about that spirit that does lead us in every way. And I know John here also has experienced that in his life. And I got to say that, for me meeting him through the group, as you guys know, has been such a blessing that, we've been able to share that similarity, that he's kind of run his life in a similar way, with kind of the world would call it, well, just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, right? But it's
At
not.
times,
It's really not, right? No,
Right.
Maybe you can share a little of that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I've experienced great blessings and grace that I'm just so thankful for. And I've also squirmed and wriggled around with finances and career as well, and we were exploring this material last night related to, I don't know if that was Herb or Joel, but
Yeah, that was Herb. Yeah. Mount Hood. Yeah.
and even just that daily renewal in our consciousness of that trust and that feeling of openness and that feeling the greater benefit in that surrender is opposed to that I can do it all myself. Because even recently I've been kind of shifting in and out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of not really, but in the appearances of how I'm allowing that consciousness to unfold and so on. But this material we were exploring last night was saying very direct. It was saying, and it's not about what it says, it's not a word thing. And there has to be a little bit of space in the listener for a little bit of inner receptivity that then it turns into something beyond just words. But there Herb was saying, if you have problems or desires, then you're not living as spirit, which of course you are spirit, but you're not living as that, or you're not recognizing the truth of that if you're thinking that you have problems or desires. And then even recently I've had fell into that mesmerism little bits, and I'm sure that's probably the experience of a lot of people. Then I was like, dang, it's nice to be brought back a little bit, gosh, because it's like, it's just an inner release, inner peace, inner, like, not so much tension about, money, whatever.
That's right. That's right. So awesome, John. Yeah, and that really comes to the point we were sharing a little bit also about the kind of welcoming these challenges and how different that really positions you, right? Just even though we call it mental, that's basically all we recognize it as, is a mental challenge. Facing the change or facing something, the unknown, right? Totally. The unknown is the big mystery thing. Oh no, I don't know what's coming, and I need this security. And the more we tie into that, as I've mentioned before about substance, about a wisdom that is beyond our human intellect, right? It's there, but we don't see it, feel it, touch it. So we're kind of scared to trust it. And the more that we do that, I mean, I know if I found personally, as you all have watched and my travels, that I have not, and fortunately my Anna with me has witnessed it as well, and it's really come to fruition in seeing John and Lee and Sable kind of live this truth and see how her witnessing that has been a blessing for her as well, because she heard it from me from talking about it for years in the Philippines, but watching people live it has really been a blessing for her. So that's kind of it, right? We just when we start seeing that it's not, it seems to be invisible, but it's really a true substance that we can lean on. And that's what substance really meant in early times versus what we call substance of today, of that something hard, our bodies, or your checkbook, that's substance, Don't talk about
got
what this
paper bills with dead people's faces on them, everybody.
That's right.
Where's your respect?
Exactly. So yeah, I've just been, so kind of tying into that and, you know, seeing how it really is, it's something we can lean on. It's something very solid, but we have to, it's a training, and it's a welcoming of that challenge to say, okay, I see this for what I don't have to be scared of this. This is just an attempt to try and pull me out of the spirit.
Right.
To say that, wait, spirit is caring for me, just as it did when I was in the womb, and just as it did prior to the womb. You know, we really have that true identity that's eternal.
That's like, why would you ever be afraid?
Exactly. That's right. That's right. So who is the you? That's what we always have to come back to. Who is that you? And it's, if we recognize it, as God spoke to Moses, that you shall worship no other gods before me. You know, and that sense of me is our true identity, right? And that's really, when you start leaning on that, it's amazing what just starts coming in our path when we didn't even know how it happened. You know, it just kind of happens. And
it makes me think of just like the old Henry Ford quote. I think he was the guy that said it, of like, whether man thinks he can or can't, either way, he's right. And it's like, and it's the same thing with all of this, but it's just like, who are you? It's like, because it's like, you know, traditionally it's like, because all this stuff for me is still like a new hat I'm putting on, and feels a little awkward, and it's hard to understand the proper usage in all these various like situations in my life. And like, you know, talking to Eric last night as an example of like a long lost relative you haven't talked to in forever, but he's like all about that thug life, and it's like, cool, man. How you doing?
That's when it really starts waking you up, right? I was thinking about that exactly. I was thinking about that last night, how, because just prior to that, John and I had been in some pretty deep spiritual, you know, consciousness, and then you go back into kind of what the world calls reality of these people that live this happenstance, you know, life, that you realize, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so grateful I have this, you know, something a little more solid to turn to, you know, instead of, you know, this and that's going on, and this, and these people really piss me off, and this and that, you know, it's like
quite the contrast.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's just to recognize that again is that welcoming of that challenge, right? It's instead of saying, oh no, you know, look at how terrible their life is, you know, like the world wants to do, as so many of the programs on TV kind of do. They present the world as having all these, and people love to watch it because they, oh man, thank God my life's not that bad.
True.
But it's pulling us out of that recognition that we really have a harmonious life that is kind of impervious to that stuff if we hold to this true self-stance, you know, that element of, so I think that's, I mean, I just appreciate you guys, you know, just sharing a little bit about the reality of that in our day-to-day walk. Again, it always often seems that, you know, this is something way off in the future somewhere. Maybe I'll get it after I die. You know, but no. It's real. It's here, and it's something we can walk in, right? But we do go through that death process, but it's not with a funeral. It's the dying and letting go of the false sense of self. You know, that kind of that what the world says is real, it isn't. It's we
have false assumptions about what the experience of that will ultimately mean for us. My
judgment and brimstone.
That's what a lot of people think. I'm gonna die out there on the streets. Oh my God! If I let go, they're just gonna beat me down. You know, these are false assumptions.
I could never fast. I could never not eat for a day. I could never try that new food. I could never. I could never pull off those shoes. Like whatever it is. Like.
Again, that's the beauty. We talked recently. I know. Y'all know Hannah is the nurse, and you know her experience was similar to John's in the fact of, you know, being freed of a lot of just kind of sharing enlightenment that, you know, again, it wasn't me at all. It was the aspect of just sharing that truth that, you know, she was able to overcome a lot of challenges herself, and it's so awesome seeing. Of course, she's such a beautiful soul in regard to helping newborn babies that are challenged by this and that, and she's watched miraculous things happen with that, so it's so awesome to see that. And again, we don't point to any of these things as, oh, look at what we did, Right. It's never that. It's turning to that principle of understanding there's a greater source that we can tie into. When we are challenged with these pictures, we have something solid to, instead of saying, oh no, what do I do? And oh no, I have no answers, and I don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. No, you do. You know. And that's
right.
what ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right.
So it's really living in that. So just wanted to share a little bit with you, and so we'll look forward to talking more. Please give us a call, and we'll chat some more. So thanks, guys, and many blessings. We'll talk soon.
Have a great day, everyone. Blessed day.
Thanks.